Home Depot, it's like $43 for the pile or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would be for a 1,200 square foot roof.
Yeah. So that's
And then
12.
about,
So 36, between 36 to 40 bundles. So
okay, 40
1600.
times 40.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple thousand. And then some wood got changed out. About approximately 15 panels.
Oh, that's quite a
So
bit.
I mean, like about, yeah, about 10 to 15. Yeah. So it was about a quarter of the roof, 20% to 25%.
Uh-huh.
But even then, what are we seeing? Saying like 25, maybe 3,000 at most in materials.
Yeah, that well, you were at 1,200 square feet, so yeah, it would have taken around 38 sheets of plywood. And how many did you say they replaced?
Oh no, yeah, about 15, maybe 20 at most. I want
Okay,
to say 15.
so that's about half. So at 15.
Yeah. But I think some of those were 6 feet. They weren't,
Oh,
yeah, they were I think
not,
six.
not,
I
okay.
think let me check my email. Let me check my email here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's the name? Roof. Let's just go. Here we go. Let's come up here. Okay, 10 sheets of half decking. I guess half an inch.
Uh-huh.
That's what they're saying. And 2 sheets of 3/8 and one 16 by 16. So yeah, 10 sheets of half decking. What is that? What's the size of that?
Those should be 4 by 8 sheets.
Okay.
Yeah,
And 2 sheets of 3/8. 2 sheets of 3/8.
yeah,
I guess that'd
3/8.
be like, and then one by 16 by 16.
I wonder what that was for. But yeah, the sheets of plywood right now, they're probably what, 25 bucks a sheet. And
Okay.
then yeah, when the guys like even around here, like I said last time when we do the roofs and stuff, they if so the tear off and the re-roof is basically in the price, but then they'll add like $95 per man hour if they have to do like that, replace sheeting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that adds up pretty quick.
Hmm. Oh
Yeah.
well. Eh, I gotta get done.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think, I mean, that's not horrible, especially if all that plywood had to be replaced. That's quite a bit.
Okay, so the money went into replacing the plywood then is what you're saying.
I would think the majority of that, yeah, did.
Uh, Okay.
Because,
All right.
and yours
Yeah.
was a single story home?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, I think things have gone up quite a bit, but we used to figure about 400 to 500 a square and just say, and that's a standard, right? Without all that wood replacement. So that would have been about 6,000 just for that.
Mm-hmm.
So the extra three could easily be spent replacing that much plywood.
Wow. Okay. And I gotta wait on the interior and exterior.
Hmm.
It's the same. It's their own company.
Oh yeah,
So
the PM. Okay.
I mean, yeah, everything's inside. It's their own construction company. The project managers or property managers company. It's the same company. It's just
Hmm.
it's a different LLC, but then they're their own. umbrella.
Yeah, and this is the guy, so the guy lives near you, the the one handling the projects, or is that a different?
No. That's for Detroit. This one is the home we're talking about is Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's like it seems like the pricing is same everywhere in the country.
Hmm.
You would think like in Jackson the labor would be cheaper. It's Mississippi. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how about insurances and stuff, but like my insurance, well, it might be different for a roofer. I don't do roofing. I do everything else, but our annual contractor's insurance is about $1,300, and then the bond is maybe $100 a year. So it's not that bad, but I don't know for roofing that's a bit more dangerous if the policies are higher or not. But
Yeah, but they're doing this type of work throughout the year for probably hundreds of other homes, so
yeah,
that wouldn't be in the cost that much.
yeah, not for every job.
Um,
Yeah.
and then they don't have to advertise or everything's inside.
Hmm.
They shouldn't be charging me retail. They should be charging me wholesale. Their cost, their cost to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're busy. They said they're busy with other projects right now, and it's already been a month and a half.
Mm. Yeah, that's a long time to wait. I had to go ahead and hire some contractors outside of our property manager because they do have crews and everything that they work with all the time, but they were they were busy as well, so it was going to be weeks before they could get to ours. So I just went back to
Mm.
our agent, and she had some referrals for us for a general contractor and a plumber and a heating guy. So we used them on a few of the jobs, and the property manager is okay with that. So that was nice.
Mm. Okay. Well, I got no choice because I got to rely on them.
Hmm.
If I try to do things myself, I'm just gonna get screwed.
Yeah. How did you end up coming across that property? Was that one of the?
Well, I bought these around 2018. These are all loans, non-performing loans. So this one, the lady moved out and gave me the quick claim deed on it. She took the heater with her. I don't know. The heater wasn't there when we got somebody to fix it up. She sold the heater or something, the water heater.
Oh,
And it's like, you know, I was so nice to her. I was like, okay, I'm not going to um foreclose on you for a year. You can stay there for a year and I won't charge you. You don't have to pay me. And I paid the property tax for the year. Um, so it's like you do these favors for people and that's how they repay you.
yeah.
And this is weird. A lot of these people they have a payment of like 300 some dollars on their homes and they don't make the they don't pay.
Yeah, it seems crazy. We have one of the tenants in our Gary property, and she got rental assistance for it. I guess it ended in December, but they were paying her rent's 11.95, and for December, I guess what they had left in that account to help her was $1,100. So she's short $95, and she couldn't even come up with that. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
95. Nah, let
yeah,
it go.
yeah, no, I'm not too worried about that, but I'm worried about next month because if her rental assistance has run out, then next month she'll be responsible for the whole amount. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens there.
I don't like going through programs. It's just like I got a place available. If you can afford it, that's fine. If not, I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
Everything's just that my friend had Section 8, and they would just like out of nowhere they would just like cancel the whole thing with them. So like you don't want that.
Hmm.
And the guy that you have, they're not going to pay anything. So once the government stops paying you, you're screwed.
Uh-huh.
And they can just there's no contract with them. It's like things change on their end, and they're no longer funding in that area, or they've run out of money, et cetera, et cetera. They can just like turn on a dime. There's no contract with them. There's no yearly or anything with them.
Hmm.
And yeah, he did lose a lot that way, and he finally like gave up.
Yeah.
No more second base.
Yeah. There's been, some mixed messages with people that we've been chatting with over the last few weeks. Some have been having really good luck with Section 8 in their areas, and
For
others are
now,
having horrible experiences. Yeah.
for now, I
Right.
mean, like I said, there's no contract with them. It's like they can just say no next month
Hmm.
and turn off the spigot.
Yeah. We only had, well, we had two Section 8 tenants. One of them moved out, and then the other one is still doing all right. We've had her for over a year, and I talked about that in the beginning, because again, her rent was like 821 or something, and Section 8, she was only responsible for $65, but she couldn't come up with $65 a month. So,
Yeah,
so we were struggling with her for a bit, but then Section 8 agreed to pay all of her rent. So now it's okay, but you just wonder. I mean, I know there's all different kinds of people in different situations, but why would you go apply for a house if you can't afford it? You
they
know, I,
can. They just don't want to pay.
yeah.
They don't want to pay it. I mean, these people, it's like $300 payments, and like you go through the whole foreclosure process, and then they want to come negotiate with you. It's like too late. We've already gone through the process. I paid 4,000 for the foreclosure. It's taken 6 months, and here we are. If I agree to anything or stop it, I have to start all over,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do that. It's like there's a in the beginning, up to a certain point, there's a point of no return after a certain point.
Hmm.
Once I start paying the lawyer, that's it. It's like then I just go through all the way.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that makes sense.
it's like they don't talk to you at all in the beginning. They're like they don't exist. That's how they operated in the beginning. It's like then your only option is to foreclose on.
Hmm. Yeah. That's how that tenant was, because the one that was short the $65 all the time. And then they would the property manager would try to contact her for, to see what's up, and then to give the notices and stuff. And she was basically hiding until she couldn't hide anymore. And then, like you said, then they're willing to try to negotiate, but then it's too late.
So what did you how did it catch up with her?
Finally, the property manager did catch up with her, and then I guess she had already started to apply for more assistance through the Section 8, and she didn't tell
Mm.
anybody. But then I guess the property manager did receive some documentation of that fact, and so they let me know then what was going on. But it had been like a couple of months, and then and when they got approved, we got all the back rent. So we got like 3 or 4 months of back rent at a time, and then from then on, it's been coming in.
You you got all over $65 for the previous months.
No, all of the Section 8 and her $65. Yeah. So it was $821 for the four
Oh,
months. So yeah, $3,200 or something like that. So
Did it go all the way back or just 4 months?
that was all she was behind was the 4 months. Yeah.
Oh, weird
Yeah.
that they went back like that.
Yeah. So we were fortunate on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And the same thing with the other lady in Gary that she's not Section 8, but she got rental assistance through some other agency, and she was a couple months behind, so they caught her all up totally, and then they have paid 3 months. Like I said, through December, they've been paying each month the total rent. So we'll see what happens in January.
Cool.
Yeah. So it hasn't been fun, but like because we were talking, a few of us were talking the other day about not getting consistent rents, and we've been at it now for going on. This is our 4th year, and we haven't had all of our rents come in consistently for any length of time. So that's been a bit challenging, but
Oh, really? Like,
mhm,
what percentage of your properties are inconsistent?
I would say we have 10 doors, we have 6 properties, and I would say three three or four have been fairly consistent. So more than half have not been consistent.
Yeah, it's usually a bad side. Once they start falling off, it's the beginning of like progressively getting worse.
Hmm.
It's like a car with a rattle.
Yeah.
Once you hear that rattle, then you know like there'll be other problems coming up with that car. Even if you fix that rattle, there'll be other problems that are going to pop up.
Yeah. I think now for the most part, like in our triplex, we did a bunch of repairs, and that was part of the issue with keeping tenants. So now that all that work's been done, that one's looking good. The duplex that we have that was 2 evictions, and they placed new tenants in November, so that one should be fine now. And the Gary property is okay for now. The Illinois property is okay. So we just have to get the three singles filled up, and then
Are you are you reporting their payments to credit uh credit
not
reporting agencies?
not yet. I had just recently started hearing about that. Is that something you do?
Well, my friend says he's doing it on my behalf, and it's like $25 a month to report it.
And
So
does
this
that
guy
help?
that's like late, my commercial property guy in Detroit, he's supposed to pay 2,000 a month. He's like 2 months behind, and he's like he'll pay, but then it's like 2 months later. So he's consistently 2 months late.
Uh-huh.
So just my property manager is just like putting it on the record, his record. So I think it's both the way the lease is written. It's like he's responsible both corporately and also personally. So he's reporting both on both records.
That's an
And it's
interesting point. I thought it
25 bucks
was,
a property.
uh-huh. I thought that was mainly a thing that would help the tenants build credit, but it could work
It
against
could
them
do
as well.
both, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do both. Now, when somebody else looks at his record, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's almost like an eviction, right? So yeah.
That's a great point. I'm gonna check with our people on that too.
And property managers should be offering this option for
Hmm.
landlords. And I mean, if everybody did it, then it'd be better for everyone.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anytime that I've heard about it, it was just the benefit side for the tenant, not the adverse.
So I was going through e-rent payment, and there is an option to report it, but it's a voluntary option. It's a check mark that the tenant has to do. Like
Oh,
you don't have any control over it.
oh, okay.
Um, so I would always tell them, hey, you want to improve your credit report, check mark that, make sure you check mark it so they're
Hmm.
reporting it. Um, yeah, but I'm going to like not allow so many different payment methods anymore. It's like it's got to be the bank. Like you have to move your money to the bank. Like I don't want to deal with Zeal or Cash App or any of this other baloney.
Hmm. Yeah, since all of ours are with property management, they have all their own portals or however they accept payment. So we don't really have to mess with that. And then the property managers have our account that they deposit the rents into each month. So that part's pretty straightforward.
These people, they behave like it's an accomplishment for them to make a payment on time every month. It's like they've I don't know, it's like Elon Musk landing his rocket. it's like it's like a big deal to them like every month.
Yeah, and they do it once out of the year and they expect a reward for it.
Every month. Like, look what I did. Yeah, I need to find a way where I can filter that out. Like I can figure out, okay, this guy is just like gonna be late all the time.
Mhm. Yeah, that's been a topic over the months about, like if your if your tenant is late and but they pay a late fee and you get the rent by the end of the month.
But the late fee is like $75 at most, and then
Hmm.
you're waiting like 2 months, and
Hmm.
then it's like it's on your mind, right? It's like you have to keep your mind on it. You have to focus on it. You have to put your attention into it.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way.
It's not worth the $75.
For all the worry, you're right. I'm just taking notes because these are all really good points. Um,
Yeah, and you could just imagine if you had six of them, right? Then it's like,
yeah,
okay, you paid me, but then it's like, then you got to track it. Like, okay, what month does this payment go for? They'll try to trick you too. It's like they'll be out 2 or 3 months, and then they'll make a payment, and they'll put on the check or whatever. It's the last month that they're making the payment for, the most recent month that they'll put like a note, like, okay, it's for this month.
yeah, yeah. They if they could put all that energy that they use coming up with schemes and just, you know, work consistently and pay consistently, that would be much better.
That's okay. It's like I get rid of them. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I used to be much more lenient, but I'm just getting more and more strict every month that passes.
Hmm.
I'm willing to lose money at this point just to find a good tenant. Like I'll recycle through them if I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think since we're trying to place tenants in these, well, one of them right now and the other two will be coming up shortly. I'm not in any rush to, just get a body in there for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, because in the long run it costs you more. You got to evict them, or it's just a headache. Yeah, it took me a while to find this one for the commercial property. It took us about 2 or 3 months,
hmm.
and the guy didn't have he was a young guy, so he didn't have too much credit history. Um, but he had money coming in. Um, but okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So
Yeah.
I did. What was I gonna say? It'll come back to me.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so on your commercial property, you're basically managing that yourself?
No, my friend is. Well,
Okay.
he's okay. He fixed it up. He found it. He fixed it up, and then his wife is an agent in the state. So they found me the person, and he got paid for finding the place and also fixing it up for me. And then his wife got the agent fee for the rent 1 month. And yeah, but so far he hasn't charged me monthly, but he's kind of like still property managing it for me.
Hmm.
That's okay. I don't mind paying him at 10%. I'll talk to him about it. Uh, yeah, he's been quiet about what his strategy is going to be with this guy, and so he made half a payment for November, and that's where we are right now.
Hmm.
So, and he hasn't paid his water bills, none of them. It's been 4 months, and that comes back to me.
Oh, okay. How much is that a month? Or
It's like 150 a month.
and what kind of business does that guy have?
Like streaming, he puts people on streaming sites,
Okay.
content.
Okay. So kind of like digital marketing or something like that.
No, the videos and streaming. Like he's got a studio for streaming. People can rent his stuff and
Oh, okay.
rent the place or
Oh,
show up, and then they'll do a video. They'll do a video. That they got all the production set up there.
hmm. And you were waiting to fill one unit in that building. Did you get that one filled?
That one was 1 unit. The whole building is 2,000 square feet. And then I got one building that's 4 units, about 1,000 to 1,200 square feet, something like that. And the other building is like right next to it. Um, it looks like one big building, really.
Hmm.
The other one's like 2,000 square feet. So that one's going to get fixed up this month, hopefully by the end of the month. And yeah, one of the units is going to be ready to go by the end of this month. So one of the 4 units will be done, and the tenant wants to move in first of the year for that one, and then the other one, you gotta. He's been listing it for a while, so he's got people that are interested.
Hmm.
There's no shortage of interest.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because the rent's like cheap. It's not bad at all. I mean, the guy's paying 2,000 for his 2,000 square feet, and then probably another 500 for the property tax and insurance per month.
Hmm.
So it's not bad at all.
That would be
Yeah,
good.
once I fix it up, the value of the property also goes up. So whatever I put in, I get that back on a sale plus maybe another 50% for value added. And anything I do to the building, I get 50% on top,
Hmm.
maybe double even. Probably, I would say, yeah, maybe I have to sit down and check, but it's between 50% to 100% value added.
What other kinds of things do you need in the Jacksonville? It's Jackson, Mississippi. What does it
Just
need?
inside and outside, it would be the next estimates. So paint on the outside. Oh, but I gotta get rid of 2 trees, two really tall trees, and it costs like 3,000 to bring one down.
Hmm.
So I gotta pay like 6,000 for 2 trees. I gotta put that in my budget this coming year.
Hmm.
That's the thing, 6,000, that's like 6 months of rent right there.
That's Yeah, they were talking about that too the other night about just the difference because I think in Gary, one of our friends had some trees removed after she bought a couple of single families, and she, I think she thought it was really reasonable because she lives in Washington, and compared to Washington prices, the Indiana tree removal was a lot better.
Hmm. These are huge trees too. I saw the picture. They're like redwoods. They're like that tall.
Hmm.
Yeah, but 3 grand for each one. Jeez, it's like a 2 hour job. They're gone 2 hours at 3 grand.
Yeah, that's some special
Is
work though.
is is it really 2 hour job?
Yeah,
Have
it's 2 3 hours. They're done with one tree.
well then it's not a very big tree. It's too
No, it's a
expensive.
big tree. It's a big tree, but they just chop it down. They're just like chopping bits of it down, right? I mean, and then they just put it in that shredder. What do you call it?
The
Yeah,
chipper.
so that's not
Chipper.
a very large tree then, because when
No,
we say large
it's
tree, when we say large tree, it's gonna take a whole day, maybe 2 days to even take the tree down.
well,
Uh,
these guys do it all day and night, so that's all they do.
Yeah,
And
but it's you gotta climb up on the top and then start chopping off and then cable down all those
yeah,
chopped pieces down. Yeah, it's gonna
yeah,
take a whole day.
these are not big trees. They're just tall. They're like a pine
But
tree. They're like a
yeah.
pine tree.
Oh.
So they got the skinny branches on them,
Mm,
uh, but it's got just
okay.
one big trunk going up.
Yes. Then yeah,
It's not
three
an oak.
thousand.
Yeah, it's not an
Three
oak.
thousand. Yeah, 3,000 is a little bit too much, huh? Yeah.
No, actually, that's the cheapest one. They go like 8,000 each tree. These
Oh my
other
goodness.
estimates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I
Because
think
I,
they come with three
yeah,
to five. They come with 3 to 5 people.
yeah. Well, it does take a couple of people to do that. One person needs the spot on the
Yeah,
bottom,
yeah,
and then the one person climbs up there, started chopping up from the top, and
yeah,
then bury it down, and
yeah. It's
make
definitely
sure.
not. It's not a one person job.
No, it takes
But the
two,
thing is,
three
like
people, maybe
you know
three.
what? How I get it cheap? It's like you can come over any time type of thing. So
Yeah.
if somebody skips out on them, they got extra time, and the guy needs to pay these guys at least. They might break even on the labor
Mm,
because they got to pay these guys.
yeah. Yeah.
So
And then, in our Bolo, in our area, so it might be like that we may get a really cheap quote, say 2 grand for the tree and then they're gonna charge an extra maybe a thousand or 1,500 to remove them. I mean,
oh, that's right.
that's like a removal fee.
Yeah,
So yeah, start scouting the neighbors and friends and hey, you want some tree trunks? You want them? And start having those people coming over and then yeah, and somebody has to chop it up. So they can
yeah,
actually move a trunk,
yeah.
one trunk at a time, slice at a time. It gets expensive, but
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing. It's like
Mississippi pines
you
shouldn't
start
cost that
paying
much.
thousands of
Yeah,
dollars, and it's like your rent's like 1,100 a month.
yeah,
Like it takes you a year just to break even on something like that,
yeah, yeah,
just for that.
yeah. Do you really have to remove them? Remove the trees
Yeah,
before
because
you sell?
they drop stuff onto the roof of the house. They drop the branches. They break off.
Oh,
It creates a big mess on the roof too. Like
I see, I
it piles
see.
up there. But
Yeah.
not only that, but you got the bigger ones coming down, and
Mhm.
um they tend to they might break the roof. Like,
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Oh, what a bummer.
and who knows that the tree might even fall. But
Yeah.
it's like these houses are like in the middle of like a. You look around in the neighborhood, they all have trees everywhere.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All these damn expenses.
Mhm.
Anyways, the guy said I had an agent go in there and he said 50K as is if I sell it now. I already put a 10K roof in there. It's like worth 50. But the guy told me the property manager that I have, they fix it up to like brand new. So but he said, yeah, once they do that, then it's worth 100. So
Mm.
I don't want to put another, if I can get away with putting 20 into it, I'd be happy. Then I put 30 into it, then it's worth 100 grand. And then I don't know if I should rent it out or just sell it.
Yeah, that seems to come up a lot. That one of our friends he was doing a flip in Oklahoma and had some issues come up before they put it up for sale, because the square footage, he thought he was buying like 2,000 or 2,200 square foot home. But then when the agent went in, when they were done with the flip, and told him he only had between 16 and 1,700 square feet. So now everything's new. So he didn't want to make it a rental, but now he might need to make it a rental for a while, or he'll lose money if he sells it right now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's a common problem. I could understand
Wow.
not wanting to rent it out with everything brand new in it, all appliances and everything.
He didn't get it he didn't get it inspected, or like how did
Yeah,
that?
I'm not sure how he ended up buying it and how people missed the actual square footage, but um,
Yeah, I would have an inspector look at it and look at all
mhm.
the work that needs to be done on it.
Yeah, now after the fact, he's getting the inspection and some kind of appraisal so that he can go to the county and have the correct square footage recorded at things like that.
Oh, for the property tax.
Yeah, maybe for the
Yeah.
property tax, because if they have it as 2,200, it's a lot more in property taxes than 16 or
Yeah.
1,700 square feet. So that will help them a little bit.
But that's the other thing is the property taxes also kills the profit. You're paying $100, $200 on these houses per month.
Yeah, that makes a difference there too.
Same rodeo.
Yeah, different town.
Yeah, I mean the rents went up, but then the property taxes went up too.
Mhm. Yeah. So you were saying, one of the past meetings that you didn't really care for Mississippi, so because you were having trouble with contractors and pricing and PMs and things, so maybe it is a better idea to sell it.
Well, yeah, well, not the PM, not the PM. The PM is a recent hire. But they're telling me the rent's gonna be like 1150 on it.
Mhm.
They already checked on that. Um, but that's the thing, you fix it up and then you gotta like fix it back up, and then like you're not making money on the rent really
Mhm.
in the long term.
Yeah.
But that'll kind of piss them off too, because it's like they fixed it up and now I'm selling it.
Yeah, but too, you'll have all the selling costs too are going to come out. So if it was worth 100 and you put 30 into it, then you're going to have what, 8 or 9 thousand in fees,
Yeah.
and then you pay taxes on the remaining 60 plus K. Well, you still walk away with a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, and I could reinvest that into my commercial,
Hmm.
you know, the commercial. I'm trying to get the one all the way at the end. There's a unit that's owned by the city, we've been working on it on the last 4 months. We've been trying to acquire it for 10,000. It's like 1,000 square feet.
Hmm.
Yeah, but if I can get for 10 and put 30 into it, get it fixed up, put 50 total into it, and rent it out for 1,000 a month, 1,200 a month. That'll be cool.
Hmm.
And then I have 3 buildings next to each other.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. So that would be nice too.
Hmm. But the property manager is telling me that he's gone to the city and there's like somebody working there says that they own it.
Oh,
So there's something going on there. They can't buy it though. Because the way it works is you can only buy it if you own something close by to
hmm.
it. Certain distance.
How did you get into the first building then? There.
Oh no, but if you buy from a private owner, you can buy anything. This is
Okay.
a city owned. So the
Oh,
city ownership, you need to already own something on the same block.
I see.
And yeah.
So, so the first one you bought from a private seller, and then you bought the one next to it from the city?
No, they were both private sellers.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I bought the 4 unit first, and then the one next to it, he worked on getting me that from another owner. That was also just like sitting around. They're all sitting around like the 4 unit was a grow house before.
Mhm.
So that one went to the studs essentially almost in terms of work involved. But that's cool because it's all like it's a 4 unit, so like you're like it's one big expense instead of doing 4 separate buildings.
Okay. Here's Mike. Why don't you see him now?
So we're kind of like we're on the last phase here, putting in the HVAC in and the putting in the meters for the electricity for the gas. No, I think the gas is in. It's the electricity meters that we're gonna put in next.
Mhm.
I think we need both actually. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you were saying the HVAC was like 30 grand or something, was it?
You know. Outside. From what's
Actually, 10K, 10K, because it's 5 units, not 4. 5 units, it's like 50 something grand, 55. Yeah, I'm putting in 55 into 5 units.
Okay. That's not bad per unit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like because it's work. It's like inside one big building, so and then the next building too, so you can like get everything done all at once.
And those are probably all rooftop units, are they? Do you know?
I think they're inside.
Okay.
I think they're interior. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You could be right, but no, I think they're interior. I think they're inside.
Okay. Yeah, the last one we were involved with it was a rooftop unit and then all the new ductwork and everything. It was easier to do it that way. Um,
It was easier to put it on the roof.
yeah, in that building.
Okay.
And then they had all that commercial ductwork, you know, that you see inside, all that galvanized tubing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of nice if it's an open ceiling.
Yeah.
You get more money that way too. It just feels better.
That one was
I,
open.
I had trouble like getting the work done on the one that the guy's in right now. We put in the tiles, the the hanging tiles instead of the getting rid of all that and just painting the top part.
Uh-huh.
So we got a little less rent because of that, because people want the open ceiling.
The industrial look.
Yeah. It feels nicer too. You got more space.
Yeah, I guess it feels better. I don't know. To me, having having a suspended ceiling seems cleaner. I guess depending on what the business is. I know, you know, sometimes you'll walk into some kind of a pizza place or something, and they kind of like that kind of thing, or coffee house or things like that. But to me, it just collects dust. I don't know.
I see. Yeah, this is an office, so
Mhm.
but my property manager said like it's better to just open it up. It's a little bit more money, but to do that, but um,
Yeah.
there'll be more demand for it.
Well, you guys are all diehards. Anna, Mikey, Jason, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, I think I'm out looking at stuff. I think for Halloween, that's when I go look at homes. And I this year I did haunted homes. I went around and went inside these haunted homes, which is really fun. People do these haunted homes
Uh-huh.
and they dress up in characters and they scare you. I'm gonna do more of that next year. Start out early in the month too, because uh, I didn't have enough time to do all of them that I wanted to.
You did it this month or in October?
October. But I
Okay.
started like I only did it for a week, like for 2 weekends,
Uh-huh.
and that was it. But I should start early in the month. That way I can go through more haunted homes. Because you gotta like drive around everywhere and that takes time, and then you gotta wait in line, sometimes 30, 45 minutes to go through the haunted home. But people are
Okay.
pretty creative. They're pretty talented too. They put a lot
And,
of work into it.
and do you pay to go in?
A lot of them are donation based.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people do it just for the heck of it, and then they put their own money into it. Yeah, I don't think they get the money back even on the donations.
Uh-huh. Yeah, some of that stuff is fairly expensive. Around here, they did have, you know, like people, like you said, were turning their garages into little mini haunted houses and stuff and charging like $1 or something for the kids to go through. And then I don't know how they got away with it, but they were selling hot dogs and drinks and all kinds of stuff, trying to capitalize on the night.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta like it's a lot of money, and then you have 5, 6 people trying to scare you. You got those guys. They're all volunteers. But this guy, the best one this year was in front of 3 houses. It was just one big building that they made,
Uh-huh.
like one big like container-ish building in front of the lawn of 3 houses.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like pretty spectacular the way it was built too. And they had the fog inside, and they tried to make it like 2 levels. They made it seem like there were 2 levels.
Mm.
And you would sit down on a bench and that wall would rotate 180. Well, the bench would like turn in on the other side of the
Uh-huh.
wall. So they had that going, and it was like that. Then it looked like you're walking into the sewer, like into the sewer tube. Wow. So it's kind of like I want to say 1.5 stories. Like
Uh-huh.
they made you walk inside, and it looked like you were going down.
Hmm.
So that was very creative. And they had water too, like they had water inside there going.
And you're down near LA, right?
Yeah, LA, Orange County.
Okay.
The thing was like the last day on Halloween day, they said they would stay open till 10, 9 or 10, but they closed up. A lot of them just closed up like 7 o'clock.
Hmm.
By the time I got there, they were closed.
Oh.
So
Were
next year
there,
I know. Next year I know go early.
yeah, was there not too many people out or?
Yeah, I think people just stop trick or treating after. They were supposed to go until 10. I think they quit at 8. So like I think around 8 people stopped coming
Mm-hmm.
with for trick or treating and they just closed down after that. I figured as a kid, I figured out the whole thing with trick or treating. If you want to maximize your candy return, go into a mall and trick or treat.
Mm,
Because you're just going shop to shop to shop.
yeah. Yeah, that happens around here too. Well, I think malls, shoot, I don't know how active our mall is anymore. That's kind of a thing of the past, but there are some really congested neighborhoods around us that
Oh,
everybody seems to find. Yeah.
yeah. When I was driving around for the haunted homes, it's like certain neighborhoods, like
Apartments and things like
everybody was pouring into them, and like I could barely drive through. And there's people everywhere with strollers, and there's a lot of people just going door to door.
that. Uh-huh.
A lot of people, like all the way out into the road. It's just certain neighborhoods. Certain neighborhoods are like that. It's like people go to them. I don't know what it is. People give out good candy or what is it?
Yeah. Anna, we just talked the other day, but have you had any more interesting showings for your duplex?
Try to unmute myself here. I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm on the headset, so gonna have to get used to this little button here. Yeah, I got a one. You are recording, aren't you? This is
Uh,
recorded. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I have a one application received, and it's a dad and a son co-applying for together for the unit. I'm going to have to turn it down. The dad's credit is perfect. I mean, nobody's really perfect, but he's got a very clean credit history.
Mhm.
What's the
But
score?
was a 698, something
Not
like
bad.
that.
Okay, but
No,
720 is average.
huh?
720 is the median or
Oh, it
the
is.
midpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, 720
Yeah.
is the midpoint.
Around here, I think that everybody's asking about 660, 650. And then I set it for 700 negotiable.
Mm.
So that, I don't
It,
expect people
it's
to
just like
have a, yeah.
certain areas just don't have people with good credit. Because the people with
Mhm.
good credit, they have homes. Just like
Yeah.
Las Vegas, it's a A area for
Mhm.
houses, right? It's a A area,
Yeah.
but you cannot find renters that have good credit there.
Yeah. So, looks like in my area, I would expect somewhere around 660 to 680, 90. So if you have that area, that range, I think I consider it's pretty good. I don't have that high of a credit score myself either. So I'm like, yeah, close to 700 is just good. But I just want to make sure, um, you know, the person has no missing payments, or what do you call it, the late payments history,
Mhm.
or anything that's kind of weird. But so the guy, and then I'm open for the income ratio. I'm not really hard headed, you know, about 3 times rent or anything like that. I put mine as a 2.5 times rent because, people on the social security income, pension, you know, but if their credit score is high enough, they are probably really responsible.
Yeah, I mean,
However,
if you get a 770, like
yeah,
I'm not
they'll
even
probably
like
buy a house.
I don't care about the rest of your credit report. Just here's the key.
Yeah, yeah. You're probably buying a house next year. You're just renting it in between, until market becomes
Yeah, because
favorable.
that person's not ruining their credit. Plus,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have money.
So,
They have money. You can go
yeah,
after them.
yeah. So they're just temporarily relocating, and I'd rather have somebody who are in the 600s and then stay there for a long time. That's what I'm looking for. Um, because the last tenant moved out because they bought a house too, and then the other one also bought the house, and so but so dad's okay. His income is not high enough, so he said he's gonna have his son co-apply, so their combined income is gonna be higher, which is fine. But his son had a horrible credit score, and so because of that, I think I'm gonna
What
turn
what's
the
the
average
what's the rent?
725, 1725, 1000,
1725. Okay.
1725. So
See, that's the
which
thing.
is
It's the higher rents are actually there are less
it's actually,
people that can
yeah,
afford it.
it's lower rent than the market probably. So the probably market would be 1850 maybe, but I lowered it. I mean, the low end of the spectrum might be 1650 maybe, or 1675 might be the low spectrum. And
Uh-huh.
mine could be easily 1800, 1850. And then there are plenty of other places that goes for 1900 for,
Wow. What area is this?
I'm in Washington.
Oh,
So,
Washington. Okay. So
yeah, in the,
you gotta deal with the property taxes, huh?
yes, we do. Yeah, it doubled since it's really expensive there. But that's what the market rent is, and I'm slightly lower than the market going rate. But I don't really want to go easy on the credit. I'd rather have somebody with a maybe smaller income but the steady job, and who can make both ends meet. That kind of people that I'm looking for. But his son's credit was just, I mean, it was just not acceptable. So I guess I'll just turn down.
How much was the guy making, the father?
Father was making 3,800 a month, and it's a combined Social Security and veterans pension, something like that. Whatever you
Okay.
call it, the military solid. I mean, he's
And
probably receiving
that's
more.
about
So
That's almost
Mhm.
2.5 though.
3,800?
It's a little
No.
bit over two. It's a little bit over two.
Yeah, a little bit too. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is he retired?
Yeah. He is retired
Yeah, he's
and he's
retired. No,
older.
he
He's
doesn't have any.
disabled too.
He doesn't have any expenses.
Right. Yeah. He just, I like the guy. I mean, I do have I don't discriminate anything, but I do have a PTSD from um I don't want to say too much about this recording line, but um, you know, I was chewed by a disabled older retiree before pandemic, or I guess during the pandemic. It's just I'm very careful. I'm not gonna make any exception whether or not you are disabled or um, your age or anything like that. I just want to make sure that
So
um,
is that
yeah.
person renting currently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he wants to move into a house from an apartment or something?
Yeah. He wants to move to a different city. That's where his grandchild lives, and he wants to be close to the grandchild to take
So
care of.
what is his
Yeah.
current rent?
It says 1,600, but I don't really know. I haven't called, you
If
know.
he's making 1,600 payments already, and he's been doing it for many years, I don't think you have to worry.
I think what he is doing is he's renting like a basement, like, you know, 1 or 2 rooms or whatever. He's probably not. I mean, I can't imagine paying 1,600 and then having a car payment and then also pays full utilities. He's probably paying a little bit of the utilities, but it doesn't look like
Does it show in his bank statement that he's making the rent payment?
he his rent is not included in the credit report.
Not the credit report, the bank statements.
I don't know about the bank statement. I didn't ask for the bank statement.
You need to ask like for 6 months of bank statements and see what's going on with his bank statement.
Oh, okay. Well, this is through Zillow, so it just have a standard credit and a criminal history and things like that.
Yeah, but just give him your email and have him send over his bank statements.
I see. And yeah, I you know I do. He's got um he doesn't really have a whole lot of room in the income,
Yeah, but if
you
he's
know.
making 1,600 payments every month, what do you have to worry about?
I don't know. It I don't know. I just want to have a little bit more income because I will have to do the annual rent increase, and I don't know. I just don't feel very good because, okay, if he's just only the one who's living in there, that's okay. But his son's going to be living together, and his son has a horrible credit history. Horrible. And if anything happens to dad, guess what's going to happen? I just can't.
You're
I
gonna
just
get
have
yelled
a
at again.
PTSD. Huh?
You're gonna get yelled at again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a very expensive turnover.
Mm,
I don't want to go through any more of that, you know.
I
I
see.
mean, if the situation, well, yeah, see
Oh, that's
this,
right. Because in Washington, you gotta be like, I guess the eviction process is probably terrible.
I don't know, I haven't ever done it. I almost did, but it was prohibited during the pandemic, so I couldn't do anything. But
So,
yeah.
pandemic, how many years did you, or months or years did you deal with that?
So I dealt with that through until she was in the hospital. So that was 2000 22 summer, something like that. And but she, yeah, I don't know how much I should really say it on the recorded.
Yeah,
But,
that's okay. Don't worry. We can
cut it, cut
take it
it.
out. Yeah, we
Okay.
can take it out.
Right.
But like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jason,
So she was in a hospital, but she had a full. I mean, the whole thing was just rotten, and I didn't have any right to go inside and do anything. And luckily, I had a good relationship with this lady, so I told her I got a permission to go in and kind of clean up all the perishable items in the house, which not like Dion's, video, nothing like that. I would be happy if that was something that I saw. It wasn't like that. It was 10 probably times or maybe more. It was really bad. And then eventually, well, I think she passed away afterwards, but I was hanging in there for a while because she was planning to come back to the unit and she was paying. She got the rent assistant during the pandemic and they paid her rent for, I think, 5 months and then, or 6 months. They put the limit because I think they know, what to expect. And they quit the payment. And by then, I mean, oh goodness. So I was talking to the tenant that she said, okay, she's okay for me to pick up her items. But, it's really hard when somebody's really disabled like that. And I just don't know about somebody. This tenant was kind of telling me something that he was renting this place for like long time, which I saw like he put 80 years from this guy. But he said he just came back from veterans, some kind of home that he was recovering. He is energetic, have a full, vitality that he is going to do whatever, but I just wasn't sure that he looked awfully sick to me. That so it's gonna be his son who is gonna be living in there together, and what if happens? I have this PTSD that I'm gonna have to deal with. So I'd rather have 2 of him living in there. The credit score doesn't have to be that important. Maybe like 620, maybe I'm okay, but not 475. It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
yeah, that like I agree with what Jason's saying too. If you don't feel comfortable for any reason,
Yeah,
you should trust that and keep
yeah,
this move on. I think like Mitesh and I were just talking about not being in a rush to put tenants in.
yeah,
And Cynthia and I have gone through a lot over the last few months with empty units, but we're not, at this point,
yeah,
I don't care if we need to wait another month or 2 to get a good tenant in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think his social security income is a lot more than what I'm gonna be entitled to. So I can see he probably worked really hard, and then his pension and social security income combined. I don't think I'm gonna be making that much money if I didn't have any rental income.
Mhm.
So I'm almost there, right? So I totally understand that fixed income And but I think he is a lot better off than I am. However, this rental is gonna be my pension, so I just have to be like super picky. I don't mind carrying it if I say in Zillow that all the adults over 18 years old is going to be held equally responsible financially, and then they both need to meet the criteria, then I should stick to my criteria to be fair. Don't you think? So I can't make any exception.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning. Sometimes I tend to kind of, oh my gosh, I can totally see, he's spending time with his grandchild. That's all he wants to do. And oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be okay. That. But then I thought, oh no, I'm a little bit too emotional. That's why I handed over my unit to property management company after that incident.
Yeah, I'd say just
Wow.
wait a month, maybe 2 months more,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
you'll
think
find somebody.
market's gonna change in January, I'm sure. It's gonna speed up. Yeah,
Everything's just random. You just gotta wait for the right tenant to show
yeah,
up.
yeah, don't you? I don't know. I feel really bad, but I mean, okay, I think I'm smarter now that I took ORAT class. I'm with you guys, so that I won't make that mistake anymore.
How many do you have right now?
I only have 2 that I'm self-managing
Oh,
here
okay.
and I have 3 in Alabama that are under the property management company, so that
Oh,
I don't
okay.
make any more emotional mistake. But
Yeah,
I
so
have,
you're pretty experienced then.
oh, I am not, but I'm
Well,
trying here.
with Phi, you are.
I'm trying.
You pretty much seen everything now.
Well, yeah, we'll see that. Did I tell you that I had 2 units? This is a duplex. So the 2 units, I had problem with both of them. And after that, I actually got really sick, taking care of the 2 units. Both died actually. And then the process was lengthy, went through, oh, it was horrible. But I got sick. I had like suddenly I lost the back side of my hair, about the size of maybe like 3 inches by 3 inches. I lost the hair. I became bald in the back. And I went to a doctor's office, and then I got a high blood pressure going on. I had my thyroid off the chart. What else? Diabetes hitting, all kinds of different things that I'm supposed to be very healthy person, but I think psychological stress did it. And when everything all I think that was the height of my stress when the second lady was just dying in the hospital, and it was just house was a horrible, I'm talking horrible. So the county assessor that year, I knew I was going to incur a lot of expenses. So when the tax, assessment, whatever, you have until 3 months to contest or whatever, I call the county assessor and say, outside it might be okay, but the inside is a horrible mess, and I don't think this tax is fair. So they came over. So the tax assessor came over and then take a look at the unit. And I gave them a couple different masks. Just go through the layers of masks. You're going to need it. And he said he had seen it all. No worries. He walked in, put the masks on. He didn't even go in, probably past the hallway. Of course, you can't really walk in anywhere because there are things everywhere. You can't really make through
Oh, she's a
the
hoarder.
hoarder with a lot of stuff and nasty. I mean, yeah. But anyhow, so immediately I got 3 years of tax. I got like a $2,000 check refunded. he was sorry for me. It was that bad. Oh my goodness. And then tax,
what was the yearly tax?
huh? Yearly, what is it?
Yearly tax. What was the yearly tax on it?
Oh, I think it was right now it's about 4,500. So it could have been 3,700 then, maybe.
So what did
I
you get
think.
it down to?
Huh?
Well, what did you get it reduced to?
It was, I can't remember what it was, but he reduced it. I got like a $2,000 check that year and then the year after. And then of course that it won't last very long. It'll come right back or even more. So but by then I had everything all fixed up. So yeah, I'm paying it now right now. But goodness, that was
So
something.
did you
Mm.
use your trash out with her stuff?
Did I what?
Did you trash everything?
Did I trash everything?
All
Did the
the,
lady trash?
yeah, all the belongings, did they just go to the trash?
Okay, so she didn't have any relatives, nobody. But the Catholic service was there to help her, once in a while. So like doing the groceries and stuff, at least the beginning of the pandemic. And then they stopped the service. But at least she had some help at the beginning of the pandemic or prior to pandemic to do the grocery shopping or, help do something. And so when the Catholic service quit the service because of the pandemic, because all the volunteers are older. So, but the one of the ladies happened to be a friend of mine's neighbor. And so I started talking to her, and she kept coming outside the Catholic services that they're not, volunteers are not supposed to be visiting anymore, in-person things anymore during the pandemic. But she kept coming and then helped her this and that. So I started talking to her, and she and her husband and their neighbor couple helped me to do the liquidating garage sale. One garage sale. And then when I walked in, finally I made it to one of the bedrooms. I made a path to go in, started moving things so I can make my pathway out there. I opened up the closet, and there was a bear hide hanging in the closet. I thought I was gonna just die there, heart attack. I didn't know what that was. But anyhow, the couple decided that she wanted to have that bear hide. So they did all the garage sale for me. And then I had personal friends who are also, landlord friendly, kind of used to be, what do you call it? People who do the cleanup, those junkie house.
Mhm.
So they gave me a hand because they felt so bad, and made 3-4 runs of the truck, because the what do you call it, that a big trash can from the city, it's gonna cost, it was supposed to be like a $900 to haul a large, the trash bin outside.
Mhm.
And they will charge for the mileage, how much per mile, to bring it over and haul it away. And then also they're going to charge for daily fee for as long as I will have it, for quite a bit. So the whole thing was probably going to be about 1,500, just to, not talking about, tonnage that I have to trash, but the just to borrow that the trash bin was 1,500 estimated for a whole week or maybe even 10 days. So we got help from those, and the friends' husbands were so nice that they even took, the tenant insisted that she didn't want to have that big couch that she was sleeping and then you know, staying removed because she was wanted to have that comfortable couch when she comes back. She still wanted to come back, right? And but that was just covered with feces, the human pee. It was just horrible, and the whole thing was just so nasty. And they took to the dump for me. So I just dealt with smaller things. I recycled as much as possible. I saved all the variables. She calls it variables. I hand salt them, put it into a bag and boxes, and then drove up to the nursing home that she ended up with before she passed away. And then I gave her some of those and some other variables, like her ex-husband had a coin collections. I took those to the Catholic services friend who would receive those until she comes back, but she never came back. So I suppose they took them, but we tried best we can to accommodate this tenant because the lawyer was like hands off, like you cannot really do any things during the pandemic. Yeah, it was an experience, all right. But so I didn't. Yeah, I did. I got sick. I got sick from that. But yeah, I never seen any kind of a mouse nest as grandiose as it could be. Oh, she had a lot of antiques in the garage sitting in there, but it was just filled with mouse nest. I never seen anything like that. They took the mice took all the stuffing from the antique furniture and then made a really comfortable beds for every single chest drawers that they could imagine. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and then I had to deal with the mouse problem for the next renter, you know.
Wow.
So I guess we'll see you guys on New Year's. Well, we'll see you out there somewhere in TV land, but next Wednesday for sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for jumping in. Tell your Cynthia we said hello.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.